A river cuts through a rock, not because of its power, but because of its persistence.
Here he comes, here he comes, here he comes again! Ricardo Duarttee, tricky Ricky!
He was a very naughty little boy.
Ricky was kicked out of 2 prestigious schools here in South Africa.
He was still partying that time.
This is where my discipline problems really started.
You must give up your car, sorry for that. But we are not investing in this again.
We had a decision to make, either we fail together or we win together.
And that was like a very disappointing time in our lives.
I grew up in a rugby-loving home. We used to watch rugby every single weekend.
He was very sporty and a strong little boy. He always wanted to do everything.
Definitely had dreams of running out with the green and gold with the Springbok on your chest.
I can remember his first game when he was like 6 years old. He actually put his scrum cap on the wrong way and he didn't want to take it off for days. From the first time that he was introduced to rugby, he was in love with it. As he went on to high school, that was another thing.
Yeah, I think this is where I felt like all my discipline problems really started.
He was a very naughty little boy.
Would rather not go to school.
He was always getting into mischief.
I used to get in a lot of fights.
I remember one night, it was like at 11 o'clock, we got a phone call saying that we must go fetch Ricky because he's been suspended at another school. He didn't want to study like all boys, he just wanted to be there for the sport.
I met Ricky when I was in grade 10 in Stellenbosch High School. Obviously that's why I saw his passion for rugby, but obviously then he was still partying that time.
And I would go watch his games every weekend. And I always just told him, I said, look, he's going to be something one day. He's something special.
After high school, things didn't go to plan. In 2016, I broke my ankle, so I couldn't play any rugby in my matric year, which made it really difficult to get a contract anywhere else.
I think after that injury, he thought his whole life was coming down because he couldn't go to Wildeklaver. That's where all the guys get selected for the big teams.
If you haven't been earmarked since school days, it's a really, really difficult road to go on to play professional rugby in South Africa.
So when he, didn't get a contract straight off the bat from high school, I could see the drive and the anxiousness in him to just find his footing and find the gaps.
I looked at opportunity to go to UJ. Then Coach Philip Lemmer said, you're gonna come train with the under-19 Currie Cup Lions squad. And where I actually thought this is another opportunity.
He went to UJ and I said to him, but you must go and you must study.
Yeah, Ricky's never been much of an academic, let's put it lightly. He's got one train focus and that's rugby, nothing else.
He didn't study, so he came back with no degree. And that was like a very disappointing time in our lives. No matter how many times I got knocked down, I just had to get back up.
So at the end of the under-19 Currie Cup year, I didn't manage to get a contract. And my parents actually put some pressure on me and said,
we're not going to give you money, you must start working here by us, we'll pay you per hour. So you want to work an hour, you get hours right.
So I had to take a job at my family's fish factory, and obviously knowing my dad, he wanted to make me really start at the bottom, so I was given a clipboard every morning and then he told me to go fetch all the stocks in the fridges. When Ricky came back from UJ, he still had the dream of playing rugby.
The way he dealt with that failure was just to continue training, continue grafting and try and make it.
Ricky, please, you've got nothing to fall back on. What if rugby doesn't work out for you? What are you going to do? And he said, Ma, I'm going to play rugby. And he was selected again for Western Province, and that also didn't work out for him because then COVID came.
That was just, I guess, the nail in the coffin.
It's not about how hard you get hit, it's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward.
So we moved in together just before the pandemic started, right after he flunked out of UJ.
There was a time where he himself thought, okay, no, I'm not going to go on with rugby because nothing's working out for me.
And this was a moment in his life that he was pretty lost. The closest I've ever seen him on the verge of giving up. We had a decision to make, either we fail together or we win together. And then MMA came into Ricky's life.
I fell in love with the sport. I really started to understand the self-discipline. I needed to really be the best.
So we would wake up in the morning, around about 4 o'clock, first weight session of the day. Come back, we'd do a boxing session together. Then we would go and do some road work, and then we would go and do some field work. And then we would go our separate ways. Ricky would go and he would work at his parents' place, the Visfabriek. And then after that, he would shoot through, do another field session by himself, come back, and then we would do another boxing session. So it was pretty intense. The mornings that, let's say, I would like to take an off day, but Ricky never takes an off day. He would be up 4:35 in the morning, skipping outside of my window, you know, just shouting, "I'm the best, I'm the best."
We were training while it was lockdown, and we were passing balls, we were kicking, and we were doing the basic things, right? We would do a lot of speed work, and I could see then Ricky is really driven to become a Blitzbok.
Here he comes, here he comes, here he comes again! Ricardo Duarttee, tricky Ricky, levels the scores!
Yeah, I think it all started end of 2021, and we had an invitational tournament, a couple of teams, the Springbok Sevens Academy, and there were some invitational players just to fill up 1 or 2 teams. So Ricky was actually one of those players, and he told me, "Coach, I really want to make this. I have one opportunity and I really want to make it." And that gave me the confidence in accepting the Sevens program.
Ricky needed 125,000 Rand to get into the program. To have paid that off, he would have had to work a whole year. And he said to me, "Ma, please, can I not just give up my car? I will pay for it myself." We said to him, "Yeah, but you're on your own. You must give up your car. Sorry for that. We are not investing in this again."
I saw, listen, there's something special about this player. And then after the 6 months, they offered him a contract.
Yeah, I think that was a very special moment when we spoke to Ricky and he said, "Mom, I'm selected for the Blitzboks. I'm going to play." Yeah, that was a very, very proud moment.
First time in Dubai, big city lights, in the desert. I will never forget my first experience as a Blitzbok.
He wasn't crying, I was crying. I become very emotional when Ricky plays.
The thing that stood out most is that brilliant step, and I think he can basically do anything on the field. So he's a little magician there, and I guess that's why they call him Tricky Ricky.
It's my first time playing in a stadium like this. I just want to thank everybody for coming out, all my friends, all my family. We're going to lift this cup as well.
One of the pinnacles of my life, to see this man live his dream. It's a beautiful moment.
There's still a lot more to see. I think this is only the start of Ricardo Duarttee.
The boy I was back then and the man I am today, they're from 2 different worlds.
From a person that had no discipline, that's the one thing that I could say grew on him, and now he's a very disciplined boy. So there's always hope in any child to change.
To see him never give up and just be the resilient person that he is makes him remarkable.
So seeing him now, we couldn't be prouder of who he is.